Hello, my name is Gabrielle, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all a rhetorical analysis of Snapchat and Tumblr. These are two social media sites that you're probably familiar with, but we're going to be talking about the content that we see on them, who's using them, what they're using them to do or say, what they're seeing on those sites, and just other general information about them. I'd like to start with our discussion of Tumblr. So Tumblr is a microblogging site, and what that means is that it's a website that hosts millions and millions of other smaller blogs about a countless number of topics. We're not going to see the big full-length text posts that you would see, one after another on a space like Blogger or something. Tumblr is heavily visual, so there's a lot of photo and video posts. There are options for short-form and long-form text posts and other options like web links and chats and audio, but primarily we see photo posts on Tumblr. And what these users do is they use them to share ideas and art and inspiration all about topics they enjoy. So what you see on Tumblr heavily relies on who you follow. So oftentimes people follow one another based on fostering these positive communities revolving around a shared interest, whether it be a book series, a TV series, or even a hobby like fashion or art. And there's even some blogs that are just more concerned with being entertaining and amusing and just talking about day-to-day happenings. Overall, I noticed a very carefree and fun-loving environment on Tumblr. Some people were academic and, thought-provoking with their content, but a lot of times it's more for just the appreciation of activity or a hobby or an art form, which I really appreciated the positivity that it fostered and the acceptance. But basically, people use these messages to either share what they've created or how they feel about a certain topic, or to gain inspiration from or ideas about that same topic and that shared interest. And there's countless topics that can be blogged about, as I mentioned before, anything from pop culture to fine art to hobbies to career paths even. I noticed some blogs for educators that might be helpful. And it was extremely easy to use. I set up an account in order to become more familiar with it for this assignment, and it was so easy to sign up and to find blogs with content that I would appreciate and that I would want to see. And the dashboard was extremely streamlined, and everything, the content that was incoming to me was extremely easy to find. I found it to be a very effective place for sharing ideas. Snapchat is like Tumblr in that what you see will depend on or rely on who you follow. So you have friends on Snapchat, typically it's their friends in real life, and what you all are doing is taking pictures and videos and sharing them with one another, and you can decorate them with GIFs and stickers and pictures and all of those things that make it more interactive and entertaining and more fun to use. It used to be far more limited than it is now, in what the text could say, how they could what all they could type on there. And now Snapchat has worked really hard clearly to have a much more broad-reaching abilities for their photos and videos. And the videos and photos can be sent to one friend, two friends, or it can be posted on your story for all of your friends to see, which I really like the kind of personalization of Snapchat where it's really up to the user how they want their photos and videos to be viewed and to what extent. And they use them to see what their friends are up to or to share what they're up to personally, where they are, who they're with, what they're doing, etc. And with the geo-filters feature, if you notice that a friend is doing something in the area, you could experience it with them and connect to them that way. Or you could just use the app to communicate with a friend back and forth for a while throughout the day. One thing I did notice that I didn't really appreciate about the app was that under the stories of your friends, there's stories of big businesses such as Cosmopolitan and People magazines and even The Economist. This section was really cluttered and crowded to where I couldn't even all understand what was being offered to me, and as a user, I didn't really appreciate this kind of pushing of content on me that I didn't necessarily ask to see or want to see, but that was the one drawback I saw from Snapchat. Otherwise, the comparison of these two sites led me to realize that both of them are convenient and easy ways to share either ideas or current happenings with friends and other users that might share my same interest. It was a helpful exercise for me in recognizing what makes an effective social media site and what might be some drawbacks. And I hope watching was informational for you too, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.